TIL human sweat is the most extreme and distinctively human evolutionary trait as a whole. Basically all of our physical traits are aimed at distance running, upright posture, long legs, large glutes, sparse body hair, dense sweat glands. The majority of land mammals are sprinters, but humans and canines can maintain a more relaxed pace for a long time. Another human oddity is that we're the best throwers in the animal kingdom. Other primates can fling things, but really only a human can throw something hard enough and accurate enough to be a valid combative option. Humans are so damn curious. Thankfully. When I see stuff like this, I invariably think about someone somewhere that got a hair up their ass one day about which animals sweat and why. They then made it their life's mission to figure that shit out. I always wonder about that first dude that figured out licking toads makes you trip, or that using the coffee beans that some animal eats and shits out makes for a bomb-ass cuppa. Another trait that I feel is equally distinctive, particularly among our old hominid peers, is the ability to store and pass on knowledge through the spoken and later, written word. If I recall correctly, many other early hominids had larger brains than us, but our ability to retain and pass on knowledge through a sophisticated language enabled us to collectively store much more knowledge. I bet you didn't know you could buy artificial sweat? I worked at a company that made wearable electronic devices, and we'd buy the stuff, fill a syringe with it, and drip it onto devices to see if it could enter through the outer shell somehow. It turns out that sweat is much better than water at getting where it doesn't belong, and it leaves a lot of conductive salts behind. The reason early sapiens were such successful hunters was because we simply had so much more stamina than our prey. Most predators ambush their prey, and if they aren't successful after the first couple of attempts, they call it off. Humans would literally just keep chasing other animals around until they inevitably couldn't keep running. The ability to sweat turned us into the freaking Terminator from the animal POV. Animals be like, no matter how many times I outrun this fool, whenever I take a breather, the bastard just keeps showing up. I don't know how long I can keep this up. You're just playing this as I shit my brains out on the toilet while being coveted in sweat. Thank the fucking evolutionary chain. I'd be so miserable without this sweat forming on my back and belly as we speak. Thank you. There is a tribe in Africa that still practices the long hunt technique. They basically set up points and stash food and water. Then walk the prey down till it overheats and gives up. Okay, I talk about you guys, but when my palms sweat I become less capable of holding onto stuff. Sweating increased friction? Maybe, but too much sweat can't grip shit. Fascinating. I say as I sip my own distilled secretions from my still suit after defeating the neighboring clan in the 5th year of the Water Wars. As someone that sweats a lot, does this mean I'm more extremely evolved than others? Because that'd be cool. I've just always thought I was gross. Yeah, as far as we can tell no one else leaks water constantly. The singular most important substance for all life, we use as a heat sink. So when Lil Jon raps about how that sweat dropped down his balls, that's a moving testimony to the human experience. Hell yeah, it's so essential. The ability to sweat all over makes us apex predators even before our brains enter this equation. I would have thought our level of intelligence would be the most distinctive thing about us, not how bad we smell. Every time I hear about how evolution intentionally made me able to sweat, I want to find it and kill it. I would have guessed our pattern recognition. We're so good at it we see patterns that aren't even there. How is it that we can sweat out of our skin pores, but diseases can't get through our skin? Too much back patting going on here. I'd like to hear from some non-humans now, please. Fun fact: the Inuit have evolved over time to only have sweat glands in their faces. Based on my output, I'm basically on the cutting edge of human evolution. This is what I tell people when I change into my backup shirt. Ah, yes, top of the chain, because I'm a leaky, stinky meatbag. I have to assume the brain is the most distinctive human trait. This is how hungry humans used to chase down horses to eat.